Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's Let's Talk Tech. My name is Kathleen, and this week we are going to talk about the big question everybody asks. So last week we did the thing about the Small Business Saturday, right? And that brought up a lot of great questions, and thank you all for that so much. But the number one question that came up was, do I need to be on Facebook before this event comes along? I was surprised to hear from so many of you that aren't on Facebook already. So this is a great question. So this is what we're going to talk about this week, is whether or not you absolutely 100% without any question need to be on Facebook for your small business. It's not that easy as a yes or no, as you might have expected. Otherwise it would be a whole show, right? So let's go ahead and do the show open and we will dive in on this. This is going to be a good one. All right, and the sound still causes us a little bit of a problem, but hopefully that wasn't too bad for you. Thank you, everybody. My name is Kathleen. If you're new here, basically the story is that I do technology and business coaching as my day gig, as my hobby, and so I realized not everybody has somebody to talk to, so that's why I started doing this show, so you guys could come and ask questions, and I could share ideas and topics with you, because this is what it's all about. It's all about us sharing information, right? So we're going to talk about, do you need Facebook for your company, right? Does your small business absolutely 100% without any question require a Facebook presence? As you have probably already guessed, it's not as simple as just a yes or a no. Very few things in life are that simple, but we are going to dive in on this. And what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to take you through the process that I do with my friends and my clients when this question comes up. So it doesn't matter what size you are. Maybe you're, selling on Etsy. Maybe you're a streamer that's looking to monetize. Maybe you have a store on Main Street. Maybe you sell online. Maybe you're a service provider. Whatever it is, this is a question we all have to come to terms with. And even if we have answered it before, you may need to come back and revisit it because things change, right? So let's go ahead and dive in. Let me just bring up all the stuff here. And this is the magic button. Yes, except somehow that got a little zoomed. Hang on one second. Not sure why that got over zoomed. I did just rearrange some things, so the odds are it's my fault. Of course it is. Yep, that's what I did. I over zoomed. That's okay. So this is the big thing, and this is definitely tied to last week's topic about Small Business Saturday. If you are not up to speed on Small Business Saturday, you should go and check out last week's show because this is a huge opportunity, and it is marketed and paid for in a great way by American Express. And why not make the most of it? No matter, again, what you are, what kind of business you are, it's a good choice. Okay, there you go. Now you're going to be able to see it. So, the question, do you need Facebook for your company? Let's dive in. So, whoops, I see what I did. I didn't move this over. See? Yes, you're right. I was mucking around. I'm always mucking around because I can and because it's fun. See, this is why I do this for a living, because I think technology is fun. There we go. See, that was easy. So why are we talking about this? Why is this even a question? Why is this coming up? Well, because right now at this point when I'm recording this, doing this live at the moment here, Facebook is kind of the big elephant in the room player, right? Everybody talks about it. There are people who think that it's the only thing that they need. It's certainly making the mainstream press for good and bad reasons. But that's just all a part of the conversation overall. But as far as we're concerned, the point is we're talking about this because it's being talked about. And because it is a big player. It is a big platform. When you look at all the things out there, when you ask people what it is that they do, where they do their social marketing, where they do their digital marketing, it goes, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, like those, that's just always in the top of the list. Whether or not it's the very first one people come out with varies, but it's always in the top of the list. And there's a reason for that, and that is all of these numbers, right? So Facebook is big. There's just no two ways about it. If you listen to Facebook, everybody's on Facebook. And that may or may not be true as a general statement. I'm sure we all know people who are not on Facebook, have never been on Facebook. I'm sure we all know people that have left Facebook for various and sundry reasons. But the reality is a large percentage of people on the planet are on Facebook at some point during any month, right? So the numbers that are put out are that it's 53% female, 47% male. Pretty close, if you put in, general statistical, error rate, it's almost 50-50. An average Facebook user has 155 friends, which is just people that they're connected to. 77 of them are supposed to be college graduates. Most of the adults are making over 75K. Yeah, when you start to look at this on a global scale, these numbers were presented to me as a global. These numbers to me don't feel global, but take that for what it's worth. The point of it being, it's a huge number. It's a huge presence, and it covers a wide spectrum. And that is probably the biggest differentiator for Facebook, is that it is not hyper-focused, say like something like Snapchat, which is very much in a younger demographic. Pinterest maybe skews a little bit more heavily female and a little bit older, although not as much as you might think. This Facebook has everybody, right? From whatever age you're legally allowed to have one. I think it's 13. I'm sure there are kids out there younger with a Facebook account, all the way through the senior crowd. Everybody is supposed to be out there. And if you think about it, it makes sense because it has become, it started out as a college-focused tool. It really has evolved over time into a family communication tool. And because people are there, then of course the businesses come too. So that is why this is out there. This is why it gets the attention that it does. So let's talk about the pros of being on Facebook, because there are some. I mean, why else would people be there, right? So you do get additional analytics beyond whatever it is that you might be getting from, Google today, or if you're using a third party for your analytics. It's another source of analytics, and data is always good, right? It's always good to have data to compare against and all that. And you don't have to pay extra for it, here on Facebook. So that is certainly a plus for a lot of people. Oops, see, I skipped across here. Okay, there we go. Call to action, right? So as a part of being a business on Facebook, right, you get access to things like call to action buttons, the messenger, right, the chat thing. They've started to include sort of like bot activities that you can do. You can also plug in third parties like ManyChat or a bunch of other ones. And there's a bunch of other sales and promotional options. Now, these are all available to you. There is a learning curve. I won't kid you. There is definitely a learning curve, but if this is important to you, if this is something that you're interested in, then absolutely, it's all built into Facebook. It's all there provided for you. You don't have to go and find other things unless you want to. So that is definitely a perk for a lot of people. A lot of people find that to be a very helpful thing. Somebody's asking me a question. Not necessarily directly tied to this, but they wanted to make sure. Okay, so we're good there. So there is that. And, the messenger thing, do you want your clients and customers or potential customers and clients to be direct messaging you? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It certainly is another great way to go about getting engagement, right? It's another way of responding quickly to your customers. So there's that. But, these things are a decision you need to make. And then you need to make sure that you get everything set up the way you want it to be in Facebook. Otherwise, people will just start reaching out to you if you didn't want them to. So again, it's all there. You just need to, figure out how to get it all set up for you. You have the ability to schedule posts, to schedule videos, to schedule live streams in advance. I do that for this show every week. I do it in advance to let you know that it's going to be there and to give me time then and send out a reminder. So that's there. You can also, be able to track things like, how many likes you've got, what was the reach of the post, how much engagement was there, the general post performance, all that kind of stuff. All that is wrapped into what they give you, which is kind of nice. There's also the ability to sell and accept payments via Facebook tools. So I know people out there who are doing online sales through Facebook and doing very, very well at it. And it's completely streamlined because you don't necessarily have to bring in a third-party tool or take the transaction part of it offline unless you want to. You do have that option, but they also include ways for you to do it right inside of this ecosystem. Of course, they do take their little piece, but any third party is going to, so that's sort of an even swap kind of thing. It's just a decision for you of which one is going to work out better for you, but these are more things that are available to you right inside of Facebook. So you can see there's a lot here that is attractive, right? From the audience to functionality to data, these are all good things. But like anything else on the planet, there are cons to it, right? Now, the biggest con for some people is just the fact that Facebook is going through a lot these days around privacy. There's a lot of questions about how they're running their business. And so for a lot of people, that is a major concern. And that is a decision you need to make for you and your business. Is that something that you are concerned about reflecting on your business? Is it something that you are personally concerned about? And will that be enough to maybe not want you to be there? This is the thought process everybody has to go through. Let's keep going. The other thing about Facebook is that, your audience has to be there in order to find you. So if a potential client, right, customer is looking for your goods, your products, your services, and they are not on Facebook, or they don't go looking for you on Facebook, they won't find you. Okay, because Facebook is what they call a walled garden. So yes, it's beautiful and lovely inside the walls, but if you are outside the walls, you can't see what's going on inside the walls. That's why they use that phrase. And that is an issue, right? I mean, if in order for new people to find you, you have to be findable, and that's a big deal. So that is definitely something to consider as you're going through this process for yourself. And along that line, even if they are inside the walled garden, findability is a problem in Facebook. And I've used this example before just because it's real life. So I know that my dog groomer, right, and my dog walker are on Facebook, right? They have reached out to me. They've given me, their URL on Facebook. They've asked me to like the page, which I've done. They've asked me to leave reviews, which I've done. But then as a test, I went and I did a search for dog groomer near me, right? And I put in that information. They didn't come up. Same thing with the dog walker. Dog walker is near me. Didn't come up. Even though they're listed in my area, I've already liked them, right? And they're active on Facebook. Both of them are very active. They post every day, every couple of days. They're there. And yet me purposely searching for their services, I didn't find them. That to me is a concern, and something to think about as far as using Facebook. Now, there are ways around that, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but it is something I just want everybody to be aware of, is that the internal search is a little bit wonky. And, in all honesty, there's a reason for that, which we will also get to in a minute. Let's just keep going, okay? So what it comes down to is who sees you is up to Facebook. Facebook has absolute and total control over who sees you. And that's one of the sticking points for a lot of people when it comes to Facebook, is this issue of findability and being seen and being out there. So just so you know, because not everybody's aware of this, okay, just because somebody clicks the like on your page, that does not guarantee that they will see your updates in their news feed, okay? Even if they do the like and the subscribe, there is no guarantee that they will see you in their news feed. This is because Facebook is allowed to, it's their playground, right? It's their playground, it's their ball. And so they get to decide how many people get to see you. That's what they call reach. And there's nothing you can do really to change that, okay? You just have to sit there and take whatever they're going to do for you. They, in their way that they explain it, is, it's that they're giving the viewers, more control and that kind of stuff. But again, I know personally that my dog walker and my groomer are posting on a regular basis. The only way I see their posts is if I choose to go to their page on Facebook. I never see their stuff in my feed, no matter how I have rearranged the settings 1,000 different ways to test it, to see if there was something that I maybe had set to keep it from happening. No matter what I have ever changed, I still don't see their posts, which for a business is a concern. And we've been having this conversation quite a lot because this is a concern for them. And in one case, the one is only using Facebook. And so this is one of the things, and we're just going to jump in on this a little bit right now. If you're going to use Facebook, and there's nothing wrong with that at all, but you want to make sure that it's not the only place you are. Because even if you think that you're doing everything right, and that you have the full faith, that people are seeing you, they're not. And I can just tell you that from personal experience. I can tell you from the experience of my clients and customers. Just being on Facebook is not enough to be seen. It is not enough to be found. So it's great to be on Facebook, absolutely. If your audience is there, we're going to go through all that in a minute. But it cannot be the only place. You should always, always, always make sure that whatever platforms you're using, you have one thing, the one ring to rule them all, and that should be your website. I don't care if it's a one-page website, but you absolutely have to have a website so you can point people to a single URL, something that you have complete control over. Put all the links to all your socials on there. Put Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all that on there. But every time somebody asks, where can I find you? You give them your website, because then no matter what else happens in the universe, you have control of that. They can always come and find you there, and you don't have to worry about being in a walled garden. Maybe they'll find you, maybe they won't. So, hey Jason, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's make sure everything's working tonight. Woohoo! Everything's working. Type's a little low. Thanks so much for coming by. Happy Thursday to you too. I hope you're having a good one. Alrighty, so let us get back to this. So that, I just want to make that was very clear, because I know a lot of people don't understand that whole thing. That a lot of people just assume that because somebody clicked like, or somebody clicked subscribe, or somebody did both, that they're seeing everything you're putting out, and I can guarantee they're seeing, if anything, a fraction, maybe none of it at all. Okay, one more con, and that is, if you're going to be there, you have to be there, okay? You have to stay on top of things. You have to reply to comments. You have to weed out comments. People will just go around randomly on Facebook and spew garbage. They will put spam. They will self-promote. They will promote your competitors. They will say nasty things about you. So you do need to stay on top of it. You can't just be passive on Facebook. You have to constantly be there, curating your content, curating the comments, responding to the ones that need responding to, and also checking around on Facebook in general, just to make sure that everything is okay and people aren't like misappropriating your content and that type of thing. So there are things to consider, but that is all a part of the process. And to be honest, it pretty much on any platform, you're going to want to keep an eye on this. I will say that the spam and the weird comments thing can happen more often if you let your page on Facebook sit there untended to. They tend to pay attention to the activity. If you are seen as being active on it and checking in every couple of days, you're generally a little bit better off. If you leave it, for a couple of months, couple months at a time, that is when the problems can start to pop up, because whatever tools these people use to do this nonsense tends to look for things that have been sitting quiet for a while, because they figure, oh, you're not paying attention, you won't see this happen. So it's something to keep in mind. All right? Alrighty, let's keep going. So now let's get into the important question of how the heck do you decide where you want to be, right? Let's keep going. Oh, sorry, I forgot to bring that one up. So how do you decide? Okay. First question I ask every single one of my clients, customers, and family when they go into this kind of work. Are your target or existing customers and clients already on Facebook? If they are, then that's a real good case for maybe, hey, you need to be there too, right? Communicating with your existing clients and fans, may sound pretty straightforward to you, but you do want to keep an eye, on this kind of thing, and make sure that if you are, looking to reach out, that you're not. How do I put this? Okay, this is probably the best way to put this. When you go to build your audience, you do not want to ignore your existing audience. That's where this needs to go, right? So the reason that you're going to think about whether or not your existing audience is already on Facebook is because if they are, and you provide content to them, happy customers are more likely to like or share content that you post there, which is another nice thing, right? Because they're helping to spread your message. So you don't want to ignore them, right? When you go looking for new clients, when you're looking to expand. Expansion is good, but you always want to keep, taking care of your core as you're trying to expand. So that's the first question. And then as a part of that too, if your existing customers and clients are already on Facebook, the odds are potential customers and clients are also there, because they're probably doing related things there. So that's a good case for maybe you do want to be there. It's something certainly to think about. Are your competitors on Facebook? So there's a couple of benefits to this here. Obviously, if your competitors are there and people are looking for your goods, your services, your products, you want to make sure that if they're looking at your customer stuff, that there's a chance that they're going to find your stuff too. The other piece that is really helpful on Facebook as far as your competitors go is should you ever decide to, really dig into the analytics, if you ever decide to get into doing the ads, you will get some visibility into what other businesses like yours are doing, what kinds of traffic they're getting, what kind of things they're posting, sort of that competitive knowledge that can be a little bit harder to get outside of a Facebook type situation. So again, if that is the case for you, this could work to your favor. Is a Facebook presence expected by your industry? Like, is it pretty much a foregone conclusion that everybody who is in your industry, everybody taken loosely, nothing is 100%, but do they tend to be there? Do they tend to have their Facebook, presence out there? Do they tend to promote their Facebook presence on their websites and on their business cards and that kind of stuff? If so, then you probably need to be thinking about it too. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to just talk about real quick here is, so I'm talking a lot about the fact that there are pros and cons, right? That findability, exposure, who can see you on Facebook is completely controlled by Facebook, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about it. There is a reason for this, and call me cynical if you want, but I think this is why a lot of this is happening, above and beyond all the nice and sunny reasons that they're giving for, hey, we want our users to be able to control their feeds because I want to see the stuff from my dog walker and my groomer, and no matter what I do, I can't. They want you to buy ads. Okay, that's what this comes down to. They want you to buy ads. If you buy ads, you are going to be seen by a much larger audience in Facebook, and that's just the reality of it. Now, that's probably also true if you want to look at it as far as Google ads and all that kind of stuff, except that Google is also a search engine, Bing is also the search engine. So yes, of course, you're going to get more visibility there too if you buy ads, but by doing good content, by posting on a regular basis, by getting a lot of, shares, a lot of people, spreading your content around in a good way, you're going to bump up in the search results organically. In Facebook world, you can do all of those things. You can be shared. You can be putting good content out there all the time, and it will help your exposure a little bit. It will help your reach a little bit, but it will not have the same impact that buying Facebook ads would. So that is something else that you need to factor in. So it's like, if you're going to be seriously all in on Facebook, are you then also going to go in and do Facebook ads? It's another thing to learn. There are companies that will do it for you, all that kind of stuff, but it is just something else that you should think about as you're going through this decision process. Does that make sense? Are we good? I'm just checking. So most of my comments I get in a tool over here, but there's still one mixer I still have to look over there for. So that's life. It's okay. All right. So let's see here. So let's say you've gone through those questions and you're like, yep, my industry is in here. My existing customers are in here. My potential customers are in Facebook. I want to be there. So let's talk about the to-do and the to-don't list for Facebook. Okay, so if you're going to do Facebook, let me take that off. There we go. If you're going to do Facebook, you want to make sure you do it right, because you will be penalized if you do business things on your personal profile for Facebook. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people don't even realize that there's a difference. So when you create a Facebook presence as yourself, as a person, that is considered a profile, and it is actually looked at and treated differently by Facebook. If you are a business, you absolutely need to go in and set up a business page. I cannot say this enough. You will be penalized if you do business on your personal profile. Don't do that. Even though it's not super obvious as you first start to deal with this kind of stuff, it's really important that you're careful about that. So the way to make sure is to go to the URL that I've got here. So that's facebook.com/business. Okay, that will put you on the right path for creating a business presence on Facebook. Now, there's a whole subtopic here about it needs to be tied to your personal account, even though you're setting up the business account. There are ways to do it without doing that. That, frankly, is a whole other topic. But at least if you go to facebook.com and do /business to start it from, it will take you down the right path, because they've got sort of a process that they walk you through, so that at least you're going to start it on the right way. The next part of that, though, is to do a little research, come up with a couple different variations, because let's face it, it's really tough to find unique names, and you don't want your Facebook address to be terribly different from your own, website and all the rest of your marketing. Hang on one second. Ah, yes, allergy season, such fun. Okay, so you want to make sure that, whatever domain, it's on domain name. Sorry, don't mean to cross the streams. Whatever the username for your business page is, reflects your business, right? So you want to come up with a couple of different versions, because the odds are that, Maybe the first one won't be available to you, but you want to have those ready as you're going through this process. A lot of people think that, if you have any kind of staff, whether it's full-time or part-time, whether you have maybe some contractors helping you out, they think, oh, well, that means I have to give them access to my whole Facebook account. I have to give them my ID and my password. No, don't do that. Do not do that. You can go into your Facebook page, and this is something else that you can't do through your personal profile. You can set up roles. So you can give different people access at different levels according to what it is you want them to be able to do. So obviously, like an admin is going to have a little bit more access than the editor, which is going to have more access than a moderator. But overall, you're going to own the control of it, and make sure you do. If you have somebody do this for you, make sure that they're setting it up so that you have the full control that they don't, because I've seen people do that too, and then things go wrong in the relationship and there are problems. So make sure you're keeping yourself safe of that. Make sure that if you're going to bring somebody in to do that, have them come to you or go meet in a coffee shop someplace and have them look over your shoulder and walk you through the process up to the point of setting up the roles. Then you can give them a role if they're going to be helping you ongoing. But you don't want somebody to set it up, because then it might inadvertently end up under their account, which means they own your business page, and you don't want that to happen. So be very careful about that. The other 100% to do if you're going to be on Facebook is go live. Now, I know a lot of people are not super comfortable with that, but going live on Facebook greatly increases your reach on Facebook, because they give more attention to pages that have live videos on their site. Recorded video is great, regular posts great, you still have to do those, but you absolutely want to include some live in there. Do some live in the stories, do some live on your page, because it will help get Facebook's attention, and when you get Facebook's attention, then you get shared with the Facebook community. If you need help with that, well, that's good too, but that's not the one I wanted. You can reach out to me. So if you go to yourtechcoach.net/one-click live streaming, you can set up a free consult and we can talk about the different ways that I can help you do that. It's not as terrifying as it seems. I say that as somebody who 2 years ago would have said, no way am I ever going to go live, because that just is not the kind of thing I ever thought I would be doing. Believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. And it is definitely in the best interest of your business to do so, because you will get way more attention, and that's what you want. So I'm just telling you, it factors into all of the things, all the boxes that you need to check on Facebook to get the attention that you need from Facebook. One of them is go live. So let's just be upfront about it. You need to be doing that. Okay, so the do nots on Facebook. Do not use your current personal profile for business purposes, ever. Okay, that is a definite problem. It is a violation of Facebook policies. You cannot use, I'm going to read it, so it violates Facebook's policies to use a profile for commercial or promotional purposes. And it will also annoy your friends. But that's, obviously you don't want to annoy your friends, but you do not want to fall foul of the Facebook rules, because they will pound you, they will make you go away. So you want to go ahead and you want to do all of that. Do not solely rely on Facebook. So I kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but this is super important, okay? Between the walled garden issue of only people inside Facebook can find you, okay? The Google search, the Bing search cannot find you inside Facebook. It is walled off. They do not share it. If you only exist in Facebook, you do not exist on the internet as far as the rest of the world is concerned. So do not limit yourself to Facebook. By all means, use Facebook. Totally great, totally fine. Lots of good reasons to do that. But make sure you have at least a one-page website outside of that, and maybe pick one or two other social platforms to be on. But at the basic minimum, one-page website and Facebook. Do not just put everything on Facebook. I know that feels like the easy win. I know that there are a lot of other people that are doing it and seem successful. They would be more successful if they were able to be found outside of Facebook. I'm just telling you. I've seen it. I've had a lot of discussions about this. The other reason to never put all of your eggs in one basket is, the control issue, right? The only thing you have total control over really is your own website. Facebook has outages, right? It happens on a pretty regular basis. It's been happening a little bit more lately, which is a little bit of a concern. But if Facebook is out, if people can't get into Facebook, you're gone too. So again, eggs in multiple baskets. If you have a Facebook presence, if you have a website, if you are on Instagram or Pinterest or whatever, that at least leaves other ways for people to possibly find you in the moment they're looking. Because let's face it, If you are not available in the moment they are looking, that moment comes and is gone in a flash. They will find somebody else. So you want to make sure that you are doing everything you can to ensure that you are findable, that they are able to get quick answers in that moment when they are looking and doing the research and making the decision. And you want to be visible to the search engines, right? You don't want to hide in the corner, and hope somebody trips across you. You want to make sure that you are findable, and the only way to do that is to make sure that you are in all the places. And frankly, that's also a vice versa situation. So if your people really are only in Facebook, right, and you only have a web page, searching Facebook, they're not going to find your web page. So this is why most of us can't get away with just being in one place. As much as that feels like that would be easier and simpler, it is hurting your business if you are doing that. So don't. You need to be in at least two places. You at least need to have the website, okay, over here. And if you want to be Facebook, then be Facebook. But have those two pieces there to make sure that you are covered. Does that all make sense? Are we all good on all this? Let me just check in and see. We are? Okay. That's good. I'm glad. Just as an aside here, if one of the reasons that you hesitate is because you don't feel like you have enough content to spread around, right here, sign up for my mailing list. You'll get a free ebook. I've got 130 ideas for content. Okay, there's 52 weeks in a year. I'm giving you 130 ideas for free. Just sign up for the mailing list. So that will definitely help boost that. Also keep in mind that, if you take a topic, like let's say you're going to do a topic on maybe a new product that's coming in, you can take that piece of content and use it in multiple places, right? So you could do a blog post on your website about it, right? With some pictures and some information about it, maybe an unboxing video, maybe do that live. You can also then put that same posting on Facebook, right? The same content, you can put the same video, you can do the live. You can multicast, right? So you can multicast it maybe to YouTube, embed that on your website, and multicast it to Facebook. I'm doing that right now. So right now I'm multicasting. Right now I'm going to Facebook, to Mixer, and to YouTube. You can do that too. If you need help doing that, I can help you because it is a little bit more complicated. But you can also then take a picture of that and put it on Instagram, right? And put a little bit about it and maybe cross-promote then, right? Do a picture of it, do a little quick 2-line thing on Instagram about it, and then push them to your Facebook or to your website for more information. And then you can go to Pinterest and put that picture there, and maybe at the Pinterest one, link it to the video of the unboxing. So that one piece of content could actually work in a lot of different platforms. So you don't have to feel like, okay, well, if I'm going to be in 4 places, every day I need to have 4 different things, or every week I need to have 4 different things. It could be one concept, one message you're putting out there, and then you're just putting it into the different places. So just don't make them all 100% cookie cutter. Like, do something a little bit different. So if you're doing a video, for your website and for Facebook, then maybe take a single special picture to use on Instagram and Pinterest to mix it up a little bit. Does that make sense? Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. And then, as always, let me bring this back. If you are looking for help, if you need help, that's what I'm here for. That is what this is all about. So you can reach out to me here. That's probably the easiest way right now. If you go to yourtechcoach.net/one-click live streaming, I am more than happy to get on. You can set up a free consultation. The calendar is right there. Just pick your day and time, and we can talk through all this. I can help you figure out, what platforms do you want to be on. I can explain to you about the live streaming and how you can repurpose that. Have a live streaming can become your recorded video. Just saying, it's really flexible, and it does help. The live helps you across the board. It helps you on Facebook. It helps you on YouTube. It helps you with your website traffic, because all of the engines are looking for that live content. All of those engines give you extra points on the algorithm scale if you are putting that kind of stuff out there. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm just going to check comments one time. We are perfect. That's awesome. So what it comes down to is, too long didn't read. Do you need to use Facebook for your company? The odds are pretty good that you will benefit from it. Okay, it doesn't really matter too much about how many platforms you're on. If you go through those questions that I posted, if you go through that process of where is my audience, where are my competitors, what is my industry doing, and those things keep coming up Facebook, then yes, you probably need to have a Facebook presence. Don't overcomplicate it. If you're new to it, start off small. There's a lot there. but you can ask around. There's a lot of good forums out there that have good information in it. But for most people, where this conversation usually lands is, yes, you need to be there. And then it's up to you to decide how often you update it, as long as you do that on a regular basis. And you have something else that you have out there on the public web. That combination works out pretty good. The only thing that I say across the board is, do not be only on Facebook unless you have an unbelievably unique reason to do so, because you are limiting your world to a great degree. Okay? So I know everybody's looking for that yes-no answer, that easy, quick thing, but it's a case-by-case basis. It depends on who you are, what you're doing, what it is that your people are doing, your audience, where they're hanging out, because that's where you want to start. And if you haven't started yet, if you are not online yet at all, and I know you're out there, I have conversations with you all the time, don't be shy, it's okay, come join the party, we're friendly, we're warm, we all help each other here. So if you are not anywhere yet and you're looking to start, it's perfectly fine to start with Facebook. If that makes you comfortable, if that's going to get you online, start your digital marketing, right? If you're ready to step out of your I'm not online at all phase, then it's perfectly fine to start there. But then pretty quickly after, you do need to pick someplace else. Definitely consider a one-page website. And again, if you reach out, if you want help, I can also help you during that consultation, point you in the right direction for some ideas on how to do that quickly, easily, and at low cost. Because let's face it, that's a big part of what I do here. Yes, if you have millions of dollars, you can do all the things, right? But we're small businesses. We can't. So my whole approach is, do what's right for you, do what you can do quickly to get started, and then build off of it. But it does not have to cost you a ton of money. It's going to cost you a little time, but it's time you're putting into your business, which is just reinvesting in your business and yourself. So that's the good thing. But none of these things that I'm recommending to you are going to cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's not how I work. Okay. I work on getting you out there, getting your message out there, getting you set up with processes that work for you, that are not going to drain your profits, because we're all razor thin on that profit margin, right? So let's be clear about that. Don't let that scare you off. This is totally doable with a very reasonable budget. All right. Thank you all so much. I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to be here every Thursday having these conversations. After the show, around 10 o'clock or so, I'm also over on Twitch. So if you'd like to continue this conversation, I am your tech coach over on Twitch also. And I also show up on Mixer, which is my new place to hang out. Hi, Mixer. So you can feel free to follow me in all those places, and that way you'll get notified when I go live. But yeah, every Thursday and Friday, I'm over on Twitch around 10:30 for a couple of hours. And we talk about the show, we talk about tech in general, and sometimes we just hang out and play games because, we got to have some fun too, right? Got to have a balance in life. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, if you have an idea for a show you want me to do, if you have a topic you want me to cover, you can reach out to me at yourtechcoach.net. There's a form there. Just let me know what your question is, what the topic is you want me to cover. The only thing I ask is that if you need a really fast answer, that you let me know that and give me an email address so I can get back to you, because I absolutely will. Otherwise, I'll save it for a future show. All right. Thank you all so much. I hope you're having a good one, and we will talk again soon. Bye.